Would you say that's the real official beginning of that Steeler dynasty in the '70s, that particular game?
Well, absolutely, because a lot of people in this modern era obviously would consider the Steelers to be one of the greatest franchises, which is completely true. But before 1972, I don't think they'd ever qualified for the playoffs at all. And if they did, it was in the real olden times. But yeah, I mean, they made the playoff game against Oakland. The late great Kenny Stabler actually ran for a touchdown, a 30-yard touchdown late in the game, which gave Oakland the lead. And that's why Pittsburgh was in such dire straits. And yeah, they didn't go on to win the Super Bowl in '72 because that was a year, of course, of the perfect Miami Dolphins. And the next year, the Raiders did get revenge against them in Oakland in '73. But, that's two straight playoff appearances for a team that had never had that before. And then they, of course, go and win the Super Bowl in '75 or '74 and '75. Make the playoffs again in '76 and '77, and then win it again in '78, '79. So, yeah, it's safe to say that the Immaculate Reception really launched that famous Pittsburgh dynasty of the '70s.
That's former Houston Oiler Kenny Stabler that was all a part of that.
That's true, yes.
And the Immaculate Reception, hey, that's got to be one of the all-time great nicknames for any play in sports history, Andy. Listen to this. Sharon Lebowski was with her boyfriend, Michael Ord, at that game. Sharon had her head in her hands during the actual play, which I assume a lot of Steelers fans were pretty much thinking, this is it. That's the end of it. And then later that night, Michael, the boyfriend, climbed on a table at a bar and said, from this day forward, December 23rd, will forever be known as the Feast of the Immaculate Reception. So Sharon calls Pittsburgh sportscaster Myron Cope and suggest he use it for his 11 p.m. sportscast. The rest, as they say, is history. And Andy, even though Sharon and Michael never married, they produced one of the most famous babies in NFL history, so to speak.
Yes, they sure did. And Myron Cope obviously was royalty in Pittsburgh. So once he said it, it was set.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.